Hello, this is Dr. Chris Burke, and I am broadcasting again for everybody who is taking my CSCE 155E class starting 1 week from today. Uh, I'm sending out the second welcome message with a few updates on how your first week of class is going to look like. But let me go ahead and transfer over here. I'm live streaming this one instead of the last one was recorded. This one is being live streamed, which is exactly how all of your lectures will be delivered to you. Of course, you will be able to come face to face sometimes, but I'll get into the schedule later on here in a second. Okay. First of all, some updated numbers. Again, now we have 7 days until we start remotely. That is, 7 days. We'll start exactly at 5 p.m. Monday, August 17th, but we'll be doing it remotely, so you'll be doing it online for that first week. We now have 189 enrolled in the on-campus version of this class, 36 in the online section. We have still have 17 learning assistants and 5 course leaders that are going to help us throughout this entire course throughout the entire semester. Just a reminder, the accommodations on COVID-19, of course, have not changed with respect to the face covering policy. Make sure that you're checking that out. Make sure that you've got enough masks if you do come when you do come to campus. The lecture hall is, again, as I mentioned before, is limited to 53 seats. That means that every student will only be able to go to every 4th lecture. Now, I did send out a survey, but unfortunately, not enough people filled it out. There was like a 33% response rate, and of those, only about 1/3 indicated that they would almost always attend remotely. That's not enough to increase the frequency of allowing students to come face to face. So everything will be based on your NUID. If your NUID ends in a 0, a 1, or a 2, you will be allowed to come on Mondays of even weeks. And even odd weeks, it means that we're going to be relying on the module number. We start out with module 1, then the next week we do module 2, module 3, etc. So it'll be alternating weeks. If your NUID ends with a 3 or a 4, you'll be able to come on Wednesdays of even weeks. 5 and 7, Mondays of odd weeks. And 8 and 9, no, 5, 6, and 7, excuse me, and 8 and 9 will be able to come on Wednesdays of odd weeks. Right? I've got the schedule, or I've got the course loaded up on Canvas right here, and you can clearly see that the first week is Module 1, so that's an odd week. The second week, the first week of face-to-face instruction is Module 2, so those even-numbered people, the even weeks, are going to be able to attend that week. Then third week, then the 5 through 9 will be able to attend, but only alternating days. So even when you do attend, you'll still have to be wearing your mask, of course. The lab and hack sessions, fortunately, we have overflow rooms for all of these. The overflow rooms will be BYOD, bring your own device. So keep that in mind. In fact, that's what we recommend anyway, so that you're not using a computer keyboard that may have been used by somebody else. Okay. For your actual overflow rooms, make sure that you are checking Canvas. In the course information section, your lab section has the alternate room listed here. For example, the first lab section, 8 a.m. to 9:15 p.m. Your alternate section is in Avery 20, right next door. Some of them are far away. We could only get one in, say, Jorgensen Hall, which is a good... well, it's closer to the dorms if you're staying in the dorms at least. Otherwise, everything else is in Avery. The ones with none, those enrollments are low enough that we can handle everybody in our regular lab room. Okay? Again, no face-to-face attendance will ever be required or assessed. You will not be graded on being at a particular place at a particular time. Remote attendance is always going to be an option, and it may be your best option going forward. The lecture, for example, will be live streamed right now, like I am on my channel, and recordings will be available immediately after, again, on YouTube. We'll be doing a live Q&A through Piazza, right? Piazza right here. And hopefully everybody should have received an invitation to this already. If you haven't, go ahead and email me, but otherwise make sure that you're accepting that invitation, because we've already had a couple of threads posted to Piazza about, say, laptop recommendations. So make sure that you're engaged even before the first week of classes. There are also over 60 pre-recorded videos and demonstrations and lectures that have been provided as part of this course. Okay. Lab and Hack, at least one LA, well, that is Learning Assistant, will be available for online help via Zoom for every section. So you can always get on Zoom and get help with a lab or a hack, and also interact with your fellow student remotely if you wish. We'll put you into a breakout room so that you can just talk directly, share a screen with another person. Of course, you can use something else if you prefer Discord and want to go your own way. That's perfectly fine as well. Office hours will always be remote and on Zoom. We will not have physical office hours. Usually we have a student resource center. The student resource center has gone virtual this semester to avoid unnecessary contact. All of that will be on Zoom. So what do you need to be doing this week? All right, this week before the classes. First of all, get your book. We are using Zybooks. That's ZY Books. Don't go to zybooks.com. Instead, go through Canvas. Go to the assignments and then go to readings. Let me see. I've got it set up here. Let's go ahead and go over to assignments and check out the reading. So the first module reading here is due that Friday. Not this Friday. Of course, classes have not started. But the first week of classes, your first reading is due. What you'll do is you'll click on this and it'll take you to a website inside Canvas here where you can purchase your book. Of course, you can get it from the bookstore. Unfortunately, it's still on back order. I'm still engaging with them trying to get permission codes basically so that you can buy them through the bookstore if you're on any sort of a scholarship or financial aid or anything like that. But otherwise, you can go through Canvas and just pay $58 online with a credit card. Normally, I wouldn't have a textbook, but this textbook is an interactive textbook where you'll do some reading, light reading, and then you'll answer a few questions at the end. You can answer as many times as you want. It's not going to count off for anything. Instead, you are assessed on whether or not you get it done. Right? It's necessary to do the readings in order to be apprised of all the material that we're going to cover in class. Okay. You should also be watching some of the intro videos. Here's this is available, of course, on YouTube. These are some of those pre-prepared videos that I was talking about. You should be watching 1.1, Getting Started, 1.2, Intro to Git, and 1.3 is optional if you want to go do all of your programming in a different way. So here's the channel for this course, or the playlist, I guess it is. 1.1, I introduced you to a website called CS50. It's a full browser-based integrated development environment. You have to sign up with Git to get an account. You go in there into this website, but otherwise it's free. So yeah, you got to pay $58 for a textbook, but otherwise all the other software for this course is free. 1.2 shows you how to use Git. Basically, these correspond to your first lab and your first hack. The Tuesday and the Thursday, I walk you through basically both of those so that you can get them done on your own remotely. Of course, we'll always be available via Zoom. So the next week, starting August 17th through the 21st, those are the two things that you probably want to be doing this week in order to prepare for class. Of course, you could do these things in your first week of class, but you're going to be pretty stressed anyway if you're moving in, if you're dealing with a bunch of other classes. Anything that you can do now to get something off of your plate and work ahead, I highly recommend that you do it. Next week, of course, will be our first week of remote classes. It's going to start at 5 o'clock on August 17th. Office hours also start that week. So we will have some office hours before the first class if you want to stop in and say hi to one of the LAs or get help because you've been working on the first lab and hack on your own with those videos. So on Monday, we'll have a course introduction, of course. That'll be our lecture. On Tuesday is your first lab. Labs are always on Tuesdays. Your lab is based on completion. You get it done, you hand it in through our automated web hand-in system, and you will get full credit. It is due at midnight, so you need to get that done on Tuesday. Wednesday is, again, our lecture. Our lectures are always Monday and Wednesday. You'll be getting started. I'll start with getting started with C, and so I'll start lecturing on the actual course material at that point. Thursday will be your first hack. Now, it's not due on the same day, just like the lab is. The lab is completion. Thursday, the hack session is designed to get you started. And then you'll have all weekend if you need it to get it done, and it's due on Monday at midnight. So Monday the 24th, the following Monday. But of course, if you get started on it now, then again, less stressful. Friday will be your first reading is due, and that's through Zybooks. And then, of course, your next reading is immediately due that following Monday, so you need to get started on that as well. All the readings will be due on the Mondays afterwards. We give you the first full week on that first reading, which is just to get you started, because, of course, we don't expect you to do all the reading on day one. Okay? So if you've got any questions, again, make sure that you are accepting that invitation to Piazza and that you are posting to Piazza with your questions. All right, have a good day.